We're just starting the trading day here in Europe. Stocks warming up for action. Stateside, the handover somewhat negative as stocks pull back. Wall Street leaning into the wiretapping accusations from Donald Trump, thinking it is another gigantic distraction away from the main theme that many investors are hoping for: business-friendly policies, more fiscal policy, spending on infrastructure, tax changes, and rolling back on regulation. So Wall Street pulling back, and yesterday the markets here were cooling off as well. A lot of investors riding through, saying they've been taking some cash at this point. As you've seen, very high levels on the indices. The Stock 600 today starting out the session fairly flat with a slightly negative bias despite positive signals for the core markets this morning. Big factors dominating European markets yesterday: the Deutsche Bank capital hike. We also had big news of a tie-up between Standard Life and Aberdeen and PSA's deal to take out General Motors from the European markets to try and consolidate autos here in Europe. So there were some big themes today, a little bit more, stable on the front when it comes to big news coming out of the corporates. But you do have a couple of earnings to digest as well. At the top, basic resources 4/10 higher. At the bottom, oil and gas. Interesting, because energy was one of the real leaders on Wall Street yesterday. You saw one comment crossing from the Iraqi oil minister saying there might be an extension of the production cut from OPEC members, but that was quickly doused as some of the other OPEC members said it's early days to be talking about an extension of that 6-month agreement. But so far, the oil and gas sector trading down by about 1/3 of 1%. Total, the heavyweight in the basket, trading down the most so far. Travel and leisure, 2/10 south on the basket. IHG starting out weaker. We spoke to Intercontinental Hotels Group this morning. Media stocks trade off about 2/10 of 1%. Utilities also weak this morning, the market action. Banks slightly underwater, and we're looking for an early signal on Deutsche Bank. We'll take you to that in just a moment. Retail stocks slightly underwater, but from here we start to see a little bit of green coming into the mix. Technologies up about 1/10. Household goods a little bit firmer. Autos, a big focus with the Geneva Motor Show. Nancy's been talking us through all the latest autos on display. Many of them, of course, electric cars and autonomous cars starting to come into the mix. Peugeot right at the top this morning, 1% higher. Basic resources, though, out in front. BHP Billiton, Rio Tinto, Glencore, the big ones in the basket, are the biggest movers this morning. The European indices, let's take a look at how we're starting out the session. 7,360, a little bit of nudge high, about 10 points added on to the FTSE this morning after dropping a fraction yesterday of about 1/3 of a percent. The French market starts weaker. It's given up about 3 points. The German market open for action, nudging north. But you can see if you're looking for some stronger gains, it's really the Italian market of the FTSE MIB up about 1/4 of 1%. And the defensive market of Switzerland has started off about 1/10 of 1%. So a couple of patches of red, a couple of patches of green, a little bit mixed and choppy at the start of the session.